Hey, so if you're making subliminal videos for anybody, yourself or anyone else, and you use numbers as a booster, please watch this video and educate yourself slightly, no offense, on the numbers and numerological values of things, such as if 2 plus 208, it's not 208, it's not registered that way by the mind. It's registered as 1. 2 plus 8 is 1. The 0 is not counted.
Geometry.
It's all part of sacred geometry, as you're going to learn right here.
Creator's language is math. There's only 9 numbers in the universe, 1 through 9. The numbers have a resonance, a frequency, a deep sacred geometry. And that this 3, 6s, and 9s is special, very special. Who said that? How about last century's greatest genius? Not Einstein, Nikola Tesla. Tesla taught his students John Keeley and Royal Raymond Rife and others. If humanity only knew the powers of the 3, 6s, and 9s, it would be a completely different universe. Of the English language, 1 through 26. But we talked about earlier, there's only 9 numbers, so you've got to use the Pythagorean mystery school math method of reducing the double digits into the single digit integers. So you take 1 through 9.
Okay.
Wow, isn't that interesting? E plus 0, that's 1. 11, 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 8. Then he took the words faith, trust, and God. Oh, wow, isn't that interesting? He noted. They're all 8. The infinity sign, God's number. 9 is completion. Now you might say, oh.
Okay, now we're not going to go through this video because I would prefer that you go to this channel and watch this video and then research sacred geometry and Pythagorean numbers, okay? Now, this aside, those of you making boosters and so on and so forth that have numerical values, take the zeros out of them because they're not counted. The most efficient way for you to make them would be a series of number 9s. If you intend for them to be as quick as possible, you probably want to use the numerical value of 1. You can research this further, but you would have to then educate yourself and remember and remind yourself of what each numerical value actually means. And it's a lot of work. But since you're dealing with the subconscious and changing humans through spell work, which what you're doing by creating subliminals is you are creating spells, which are also what your television does and everything else. It's all magic. Magic, music, and vibrations, basically. Anyway, what else was I going to say? There's so much. 3, 6, and 9. You can research Nikola Tesla's stuff as well. So if you're making subliminals with a numerical value, like instead of a Google, Plexian, whatever, just simply make it 1. 1 moment's worth of time. 1 moment, 1 thing, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Then it'll make it instantaneous, like it'll basically be telling your subconscious the next moment it happens. The next moment you register is immediately happening every nanosecond. The numerical value, if it has a 0, it immediately goes down like this. Like see, 7, 2, 1, 1. The 0 doesn't count. The 7 and the 2 go to 9. The 9 plus 1 go to 10. It goes back to 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. The 0 doesn't count, so this basically has 2. This number 72110 is just a number 2. Okay. And in regards to wording things, you want to make your subliminals have you, me, I, we. So you have this, I have this, we have this, and I am. Those are the things you want to put in there. And if you add music to your subliminals, leave the lyrics out of them, because the lyrics will be registered as affirmations. It doesn't matter if you write affirmations to disregard the lyrics, they are still being processed. And then in some timeline, in some reality, in some dimension, there is a version of you that embodied and enacted those affirmations. So if you're putting a song in your subliminal that says, oh, I'm the baddest bitch, something, 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 then when you get into an emotional state where you feel that way, you will vibrate into that reality where that's occurring. If you put lyrics about hurting people, shooting, guns, whatever, when you feel victimized in any way, you will vibrate into a reality where that's happening to you. So if you're having a normal day and then somebody pisses you off and says something, that affirmation will kick in, and then you will be in that reality where that nasty stuff is happening. Whether you have the removal of negative affirmations or not, it's moment by moment by moment. So in the frequency that you are now, you're not vibrating at anything negative. But if you go and have a bad day at work and you were listening to some kind of a ghetto, thuggish, violent song, and no offense, but most of the violent songs are whatever, you will vibrate at that frequency. So even if you have an affirmation that says, ignore all negative affirmations, ignore all affirmations that lower my self-esteem. When some douchebag irritates you, your self-esteem lowers, and then those affirmations that are involving lower vibration behavior affect you, because you're not on the frequency plane. Like here, look. If you're here and you're listening to a subliminal that says bitches are this and bitches are that, and violence and angriness and blah blah blah, when you go to work and someone irritates you, you're not vibrating here anymore. You're not vibrating at the higher one. You're vibrating over here where somebody irritated you, which means you will move into this affirmation, because this affirmation is applying to you now, because you're on the same vibration of that baddest bitch violent thingy there. Get it? So even if you're listening to affirmations of the highest, order and frequency, when someone irritates you, you're back over here. And then all the affirmations and all the songs and all the ghetto songs and all the nasty violent songs and all those hard rock metal, death metal things, they apply. And then when your frequency goes up and you're sitting there in bliss state again, they don't apply. When you get irritated, those affirmations still exist and you go back to there, because some version of you exists with those affirmations. You're simply lining up from there to there. And you can change and go and do whatever you want at any time. You simply change your emotional state, the way you're vibrating. I hope that makes sense. All right, bye.